For all intents and purposes, this video is a joke, and anything serious said in it should be taken as such. That being said, some of the jokes are pretty edgy, so viewer discretion is advised. Howdy, Plain A here. Let's talk about Terraria. This video will cover the first half of my most recent playthrough. Instead of rushing through the game, I instead took my time and explored the early game to the best of my abilities. This playthrough will follow my journey through the first half of an expert mode playthrough, so spoilers for all of Terraria pre-hard mode. This was recorded on TModLoader, a mod loading client for Terraria, so if you see any special crafting recipes in this video, that's why. Besides that, the only mod I have installed for this playthrough is ore excavation, for the sake of time and convenience. Other than that, this is a near complete vanilla playthrough of Terraria. So let's go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes of my journey. I start off by making my character Ted. I shall now live vicariously through Ted. He may be my avatar, but we share the same emotional pain. Ted's a classic mode character because I don't want this already long playthrough to be even longer than someone trying to get their doctorate in astrophysics. Next up, I make a world on expert mode, not master mode, because I don't want Terraria to treat my butthole like a belly button and turn it from an innie to an outie. We start by setting our sights on a mid-game axe, then axe these trees a question. Get it? Cause instead of ask, it's axe, and I don't know, I just thought the joke was funny. We grab some surface iron and end up leaving a hole because I don't have enough dirt to fill it in. I see this bunny start breaking it down sexual style, like a quirked up white boy goated with the sauce. I guess I'm making one of those videos. I dig a small but wide hole, then go explore some caves like Curious George exploring the Pentagon for US war crimes in Afghanistan. I find a pair of booties and immediately put them on. Then I find a kidney stone from someone who had too much calcium strapped to the end of small iron ringlets stuck together. A chain, if you will. This joke has been going on for far too long. Hey look, Mother Earth's tapeworm. I gave my calcium ball Ligma for enhanced Sugma damage and find 2 life crystals. After feeling like the Grinch after Christmas, I get back to mining. In my travels, I find a wet fork that gives me the powers of water movement. I then experience life from the POV of a child living through a 6-month fast. Holy shit, look at him go! I save the quirked up white boy from recreating the cask of Amanantillo, and fill in the holes so that the thoughts don't tempt me. I make a cozy little cottage, realize it needs windows, and go hunt for a desert. I then die in the desert. Upon my arrival, I find that the homeless has set up a small shrine for me and some shanty shacks to live near their benevolent leader. It's alright though, because one of them happened to be a demolitions expert. I'm upgrading them from homeless to now simply terrorist. Inshallah, brother. Your wish is my command. Holy shit, that joke was edgy. I find a very large tree and decide to become one with Mother Nature by entering her bowels and found some sick loot. Mother Nature's white blood cells activate though as she sends a gnome to sniff out and steal my hard-earned shekels. I get the hell out of there before they sniff out my credit score and try to steal my money through predatory loans. I find a mushroom biome and a rail track. Like a good little German boy, I hop on the rails to find surprisingly not my immediate death, but instead the opposite, another life crystal. After some more exploring, I come across the still wandering body of Margaret Thatcher, who sniffs out the Irish in my veins and refuses to sell me bread at a reasonable price. I'll be back to piss on your grave someday and get my goddamn bread. I then find a magic mirror and an eye that looks kinda sus. That joke was terrible. Moving on, after some more life crystal gathering, I get jump scared by a boulder who felt I was a little too happy for a little too long and sends my ass back home with a broken spine and a broken spirit. I then decide to submerge back into the blown up intestines of Mother Earth to get my money back, and then deploy circular drone strikes on a naked woman just like Obama did to the Middle East. This video is so edgy today it belongs on an assembly line for a razor blade factory. After some more exploring, I return home to a surprise audit by the IRS, to a sheer blind panic and a hard-fought battle eventually. At 50 HP left, the boss despawns, and I'm left devastated. With most homeless subjects dead, I challenge the IRS again the next night with a vengeance, using the suspicious eye we got earlier. Now, more prepared with an arena and buffs, I make this fight look like a complete cakewalk, and give the eye an absolute ass whooping the likes of which this white teethy motherfucker has never seen. I give this eye an exam and put the dye in dilate. This eye will never be seen again. Got a sick ass shield out of it though. Using some Crimtane ore, I make a neat sword so I can give mobs the UK treatment, leaving them with a damage over time debuff. I go to the jungle and get my last life crystal. Then fight through the Blood Moon to try and get a shark tooth necklace, but instead all I got was this whack ass plushie. Immediately afterwards I get a goblin invasion, meaning now somewhere in my world is the Goblin Tinker, but that's beside the point. After a bunch of organizing and some preparation, let's go fight the brain of Cthulhu? The brain of Cathy. It's easy to tell which brain is the real one based on where my bird summon goes. After which, the brain was ironed out and is now nice and smooth. Since we're a bit of a ways into the video, you should go ahead and maybe consider ironing out that subscribe button. Every time that number goes up, my brain releases the happy chemicals and really makes me feel like all this work was worth it. If you didn't, it's alright. I still think you're pretty cool just for watching this far. Anyways, back to the video. The jungle hasn't gotten that much screen time in this video, so let's go give it some love. I find a nice area to set up some houses, as well as a random homeless man that smells of alcohol. Hoping that he'll teach me his ways, I give him $1 and the guarantee of a house soon. I want to set up a mud wall, so I get to work making enough graves for a graveyard biome, because for some dumb reason, you can only make dirt related to walls in a graveyard biome. Also, hey, look, a meteorite. Let's go mine that. That's satisfying. I dig out this random mountain using some bombs and set up my graves in a workbench, so I can get to work smashing together mud into walls. Afterwards though, I get distracted and try building a house in the snow biome, but get interrupted by this Bambi looking bitch. I guess I struck a nerve because this furry fuck decided to renovate my insides and make them into outsides. He doesn't despawn though, so I kindly return the favor. In return, I get a super fast axe and an accessory you will never see me use. I return from a long slumber from the night before with a strong urge to upgrade my booties. I hunt down this long-nosed money-hungry fuck who swindles me into a 20-year contract with a 40% APR, all in exchange for a tinker's bench and some rocket boots. Were it not for the laws of these lands, I would have beat you to death with a brick. I run into Margaret Thatcher again, who, knowing I helped one of her own, decided to sell me bread at a slightly more reasonable price. I buy some neat glow sticks and leave before she accuses me of affiliating with the IRA. I cleared out this random spider's den and all I got was this lousy heart crystal. Now that I have this workbench, I was able to upgrade my booties into Gucci slides, and then finally, just straight up Rolexes on my feet. With every use of the Tinkerer's workbench, I feel my credit score go up 1 point. However, there's never really any escape from the Goblin Mafia. I try to set my sights on some Macrame Cheeto sneakers. I gather some obsidian for an obsidian skull, and then hunt down some water walking boots. And then try hunting down an obsidian rose, but can't find one no matter how hard I try. I guess it really ain't easy being cheesy. I steal a doll from a poor defenseless demon child in preparation for a fight much later on in this playthrough. I decide to take a detour and make a blade of grass, which I will most likely never use. Then I get the idea to go for a nice edge, which is a sword made from slamming 4 different swords together. I use some spare obsidian from earlier, some dank-ass kush, and some water to pump my body with enough obsidian liquids to no longer feel pain from lava. Then I make my way back to Detroit and steal their hellstone. Like a crackhead scouring for his next fix, I ravage the landscape. Using this hellstone, obsidian, and some ancient black Detroit magic on a very stormy day, I make a full set of armor, a sword harnessing the power of IEDs, and a bow that converts wooden arrows into burning STDs. I pay a visit to my local loan shark, and have him reforge the Ass Beater 9000 into something more usable. Of course, this isn't without him stealing every last shekel, penny, and my millions of Venezuelan bolivias. I then make a quick trip to the jungle to find a staff of regrowth so I can make this very convenient and quick axe. Now I'll never have to worry about wood or wood platforms again. With my newfound amount of wood platforms, I head to the dungeon and make a small arena. It's very small. No, I'm not compensating for something. Anyways, I challenge and die to Skeleton. I build an arena for Queen Bee and, while being annoyed by a fairy, beat the ever-living shit out of it. I got a beekeeper and some other crap that I decided not to use. After a nice bit of motivation, I take on the Bone Daddy again. I take copious amounts of drugs, challenge Skeletron again, pull a Michelle Lujan. How the fuck do you pronounce that?
Michelle Lujan Grisham.
And declare his arms a public safety concern, and then remove this undead bony fuck from this plane of existence. I got a neat book I'll never use because I'm illiterate, and access to oh god, oh fuck spikes. After some very light exploration where I hardly pay attention, I find a ginger who's been imprisoned for crimes against humanity by existing. A Minecraft enchantment table, a funky slime who thought it was a chest, literally just a gun, a raspberry flavored stick, and a Walter White Breaking Bad reference. I teleport home and begin my preparations for the endgame. I go ahead and craft the Knife's Edge, the best pre-hard mode melee weapon. I organize my inventory, and after drinking a gravity potion, I raid the lands in the sky. I find all sorts of accessories, but more importantly, I find a Star Fury, which is an important tool for who knows when. Once I get back to the base, I do a little bit of crafting and even a little bit of building with this above ground mushroom biome. Turns out the guide was an illegal alien this whole time. Who knew? I then take a no-knock warrant to the entirety of Detroit to look for some contraband and open up a bunch of chests for their sweet, sweet innards. All the while, I built the I-94 Inter-Hate Highway for easy Detroit travel. The Demon Goblin Mafia wasn't too fond of this, however, and demanded a blood sacrifice. Using some ancient Detroit voodoo magic, I snort copious amounts of drugs and toss in a guide voodoo doll. The Demon Goblin Mafia weren't too happy with the guide since he was of impure alien blood. I lay into the wall of flesh with a Hellwing bow chambered with anti-tank rounds. After all that prep and hard work, this fight was surprisingly easy. I devour the demon heart for another accessory slot, get an awful assault rifle and a pwn hammer, signifying that we're finally in hard mode. If you guys like that video, comment down below if you want a part 2 or more Terraria content. More engagement means the algorithm gods will be pleased. Also, maybe consider subscribing since that tells me you want to see more of this content as well. I'm trying to hit 1K by the end of this year, so if we can hit that goal, it'd really mean a lot. As always, I will see you guys, Later. Later. I make a cozy little cottage. I make a code, then fight through the blood moon to try to get a shark tooth Netflix. Yeah. Easy to tell which brain is the real one based on where my butt. I make a full armor of this. Part 2 or more fuck. I'm trying to hit 1K by the end of this year, so if we can hit that girl. Fuck. I'm trying to hit 1K by the end of this year, so if we can hit that goal, I'd really. Fuck!